Let's make French macaroons inspired by Cinderella. This is what we'll need. A 3/4 cup of almond flour, 1 cup of powdered sugar, which is the same thing as icing or confectioner's sugar, 2 egg whites at our room temperature, so just leave them out on the kitchen counter for 6 to 12 hours. Sounds gross, but they're still fresh. A 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, a 1/4 cup of regular granulated sugar. And to make it extra Cinderella-y, you'll need royal blue gel food coloring as well as pearl dust, or as I like to call it, fairy godmother dust. Start off by combining your almond flour and powdered sugar and running them through a sieve. This will remove any clumps that might form. A fluffy flour-sugar combo is essential to making well-formed macaroons. So after that's done, set it aside and we'll come back to it later. The second thing to prepare is your meringue. In a separate bowl, beat your egg whites with your mixer on low until they get foamy in appearance. This will take about 45 seconds. After that, add your cream of tartar. Start beating again and add the regular sugar in little by little. And now it's time to add your food coloring. Keep beating the meringue for another few minutes, and every so often, lift up the mixer to check for peaks, stiff peaks. So, if the meringue droops back down into the bowl like that, then you know it's not ready. Every 45 seconds, check again to see how the peaks are going. If you lift up the whisk and the peak that forms looks like the top of an ice cream cone, then you're not ready. Almost, but not quite. Keep at it. Once it forms a stiff peak that kind of looks like the top of the Chrysler building, then you know it's ready. Stop mixing, it's all done. Now it's time to integrate the flour sugar into the meringue. Put about half of it into the bowl and start folding. With your spatula, work it around the bowl in the motion you see me doing. After about 15 folds, add the rest of it in. They say it takes about 65 folds for the mix to be ready, but seriously, who can keep count? Not me. They also say you know the mixture is ready when it looks like molten lava. For those of us who don't hang around live volcanoes, just think of this. If the mixture is able to slide off the spatula in a slow but somewhat consistent manner, and it leaves an impression on the batter that's left in the bowl, you're good. If it comes off really slowly and it's all lumpy, you need to fold some more. If it slides off really runny like maple syrup, then you've overmixed, and unfortunately your macaroons won't look like macaroons after they've baked. Okay, so once the batter is done, it's time to put it in a piping bag. I put my bag in a pitcher to keep it standing up straight. My cookie sheets are already lined with parchment paper, and you'll notice underneath it I have a macaroon template to make sure each shell is the same size. Now it's time to just squeeze out the batter. By the way, you don't have to have a template, but if you want one, check out the description box for the link of the template I created for you guys. You'll have to release the air from the batter, and you do this by banging the cookie sheet against the counter. This will reduce the chances of air pockets forming during baking. You see those little holes that formed? That's the air coming out. This is a very important step for properly formed macaroons. Right after that, sprinkle some fairy godmother dust on the macaroons. Bibbidi boppity boo. Now it's time to preheat the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And while this is going on, let the macaroons sit on the counter for at least 30 minutes. This is another important step that can make or break your macaroons, so don't get antsy and skip it. After the time has passed, you'll be able to touch the macaroons without it sticking to your finger. This is what we want. Okay, so put the cookie sheet on the second to last tray in your oven and set the timer for 9 minutes. It's been about 5 minutes since the cookies went in, and they're looking pretty good. Undoubtedly, you'll have at least one outcast shell like that one there in the back, but that's alright. After the 9 minutes have passed, rotate the cookie sheets in the oven and bake it for another 9 minutes. The macaroons are finished cooking and they're looking pretty good. You see those ridges there? They are called feet, and that is the look for macaroons. No feet, no good. Give it a minute and then place the macaroons on the cooling rack. Why is my step stool in this shot? Now it's time to get the filling situation going. I went with the lemon and cream cheese flavor. There are 2 quick videos on my channel with these recipes, so check them out after this video is finished. I piped the lemon filling in the center of the shell, and then I lined it with cream cheese buttercream. It kind of looks like sunny side up eggs, doesn't it? Now just put another macaroon shell on top of it and you're good to go. These macaroons are fit for a princess or a prince. Make them for the next party and you'll impress your friends, but more importantly, you'll impress yourself with your baking skills. Thanks for watching I See Melanie. Until next time.